The Punch TV.
Bafsin Green Construction and Trading Abama Ghana for. Say Juma Kwedu and Juma Fatason. And to say your hotel, school, hospital, bank, offices.
Abusuan for mama kwa baba the Punch TV, so make sure say and any first time I dey channel ya. Subscribe my like na share. We will so ajawa share or comment section or for my abusuan for some lam na mo kase. Story bi aba beto in 10 time video no so. Ama ye twene sleni abasa. Obi e kasa fa ho abusuan for some re. Won come ho na yen kohwe video no emla ye ba. Emu nchire mu nyina ye ba beka.
Welcome to the program. This is the AM News. Let's begin. Calls for a female running mate for Dr Bawumia have intensified as identifiable groups at the Kejetia market in the Ashanti region add their voice to the request. To them, the call that was earlier made by their colleagues at the racecourse market is justified, hence their involvement. At a press conference, they noted it is about time the New Patriotic Party improved their strategies towards the agenda to break the eight. Nanaya Ojima has more in the following report.
The identifiable groups at the Kejetia market were instrumental in campaigning for the NPP flag bearer during the party's presidential primary. To them, their interactions with their customers have revealed readiness of the electorate for a female running mate for the NPP. Though they refused to name their choice, they outlined some qualities of their preferred individual.
We've done the religious part of it. We've done the tribal part of it. Now we should consider the gender part of it. A female from Ashanti region will be the best option for the party. That's why we are pleading with the executives of the club, our chiefs, our former president, the current president, they should all come to a conclusion and choose a female from Ashanti region for us to be the running mate.
We want a female running mate from the Ashanti region. We want someone to champion the interests of women in the region. Women make and keep the home, so we need their input. If a woman partners Dr Bawumia, it will improve his chances.
Meanwhile, some members of the NPP in the Ashanti region have joined calls for a female from the region to partner the vice president. Irene Osereko speaks for the group.
It is our prayer, and we are hoping that a woman should be the running mate for the party. As mothers, a woman plays important role in marriage and the nation as well. We are pleading the stakeholders, Otunfo, the president as well, and then Dr Bawumia to consider woman to be the running mate for the party.
Now, let me bring you back that story about elders, priests, and priestesses of the Tema Traditional Council who performed rites to seek justice for two persons who lost their lives Friday night at Tema Newtown during a procession at the festival that was coming to an end. They believe the gods and ancestors will help punish those behind this heinous crime. Tema Shipi and Stu Secretary of the Tema Traditional Council, Ni Ama Sompunu II, disclosed this after performing the rites.
Two residents of Tema Newtown, 38-year-old Christopher Amu and 22-year-old Joseph Ajay, lost their lives after a shooting incident during a procession as part of the Pleasure Festival. Both the residents of Tema Newtown and Ghana Navy has been at variance with the cause of death of the two, as three others continue to receive medical care at Tema General Hospital. The community has blamed Ghana Navy for the death. Ghana Navy has, however, denied any wrongdoing. To seek justice for the dead, the Traditional Council has performed rites by crushing fresh eggs, pouring libation, and others to invoke the power of the gods. Tema Shipi and Stu Secretary of the Tema Traditional Council, Ni Ama Somponu II, explains that, per their custom, it is important to perform the rites for the deceased.
We are testing the potency of our gods, whether they are alive or they are dead. That's all we are asking for. Similar things, not akin to this one, but not precisely as this. The way we see things, we will test the potency of whether they are alive or they are also gone. The town was really located here, but we never lost our sovereignty as people of Tema. So we shall continue to test the potency of our gods until justice prevails. We don't have a card, we don't have AK-47, we don't have SMG, but we believe on our gods. We are invoking them to come to our aid.
Ni Ama Somponu says the community feels powerless and need the assistance of the gods to settle the matter.
It is no news that people lost their lives through our celebrations. It is no news. And it is as a result of people refusing to exercise their discretionary powers. Look, I'm saying that force is also always applied when common sense fails. The incident that happened yesterday could have been avoided if common sense had been applied. Because if people were in the possession, and a car, you are driving your car, and you see a number of people in possession, what do? You wait, they pass, and you continue, but you don't drive through them. You've been carrying their displeasure, and they will react.
The punch.
That is exactly what happened yesterday. Then, because you don't have guns, you start shooting when we are celebrating our festival. Does it make sense? We are invoking our gods. They should come to our aid because we are powerless.
Meanwhile, Temanya Dowulomo, Numo Abodade Hamle II, says the incident has marred the festival. This is a bad omen, losing 2 lives. We do not accept corpse into the community during this period. So for the 2 persons to have died takes everything away from this beautiful celebration. We have performed right for the gods to step in. Newtown community awaits outcome of the rites performed. Kwame Yankesh reports for Joy News.
Now, in today's business landscape, the advice to waive litigation and instead of
Bafsin Green Construction and Trading Abama Ghana for say Jumakwedu and Juma Fatas on and to say your hotel, school, hospital, bank, offices, and the Westie. Now, Pobiam and to Mutas amount there, and then I may come for Bafsin Green Construction and Trading at the amount. Obuan wasn't done a won't Emane ha crampo, and Posabro train our no West Sufia or Ghana now Pobiam and to Mutas amount there. And yana me come for Bafsin Green Construction and Trading at the amount. The Yanni so benye muji die, your 2 bathroom tiles, compound tiles, swimming pool tiles, kitchen tiles, and in yakeka home. Then it is summer woman said, so passa Seattle. Now do location Maya, the Yan say ya Ghana, ye benya be the amount. Na yan juicy candy, yan dada, said young crofobidi, young crofobino. A sunset task would you make any dintino, yet on cement, natural stones. Tile cement, slabs, marble tiles, and nobody lay essence a supply. Essence ya Juma Hotel, na swear need to know. Ye wa aboding cracks are a certificate, a treasure ya fat entity. Obetini a friend who my true face so 0505 626823 0505 626823. Oba we breaku. Weja edekwa wini ba quantum pona so. Bafsin Green Construction and Trading. We do it just the way you love it.
The punch
in resolving disputes is gaining traction. That's according to law lecturer at the Ghana School of Law and lead consultant for the Robert Smith Law Group, Bobby Banson. Mr. Banson explains that the advantages go beyond saving cost and time, as it also provides a forum where parties can address their grievances effectively or efficiently and with no or less contention compared to traditional court proceedings. It is almost always a win-win for parties involved.
In court, there's always a winner, there's always a loser. In arbitration, that hardly happens. As much as possible, the panel will ensure that people's interests, instead of positions, are advanced. That is one. So that you maintain the business relationship between the parties and there's a resolution as to the issues.
Right.
Two, deals with the speed. So that once it is arbitration, you're able to determine the timelines within which you resolve the dispute.
Right.
So that you can decide to say, this one within 3 weeks, we should be done and done with. And every party is bound by a judgment. In fact, for lack of a better word, I dare say better than a court judgment. The reason being that with a court judgment, if it's a high court, or assuming it's a district court, you have a right of appeal to the Supreme Court. But when it comes to arbitration, there's no right of appeal against the award, but you can challenge the award on very, very limited grounds under Section 58 and 52, I believe, whether it's domestic or international.
Right. The Ghana School of Law lecturer also highlights another crucial advantage arbitration offers, which is the confidentiality and flexibility it offers the disputing sides.
It is one thing that really encourages arbitration, because with court, your matter is out there. Any person can walk to the courtroom to listen to your case. But with arbitration, you decide who sits in the course of the proceedings. And so even the award is not published except with the consent of the parties. So if I start arbitration with something, nobody else will know that I have an arbitration with something. But if I have a court case with something, anybody can go to the registry and do a search. Is there a case involving Samson Ladi? Can I get copies of all the processes that is filed? RTI bail will entitle the person to get it. But with arbitration, no. You cannot,
private. It's confidential.
You cannot publish anything relating to the arbitration, even the final award, unless with the consent of all the parties. So that confidentiality is very, I know a lot of multinational companies, let me say, without mentioning names, those that engage in exclusive distributorship agreements, they always insist on arbitration. Because if they have a distributorship agreement with you and they terminate it, especially in the telecom sector, they terminate it, and then tomorrow they give it to somebody else and you commence arbitration, that person will not know the nature of the award that was delivered. So that they cannot use it as judicial precedent.
All right.
To come and say, when you did this, you awarded this, so let me, and a lot of business
the Punch
TV that confidentiality provision.
Pay cocoa farmers well to reduce environmental pollution from the Galamsey menace. Words from Nene Tete Akra I, Penua of Manyakrobo, as he criticizes the government for neglecting significant environmental pollution caused by illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. He suggests that fair compensation for cocoa farmers would incentivize them to continue farming and thus decrease environmental degradation. His remarks were made at the inaugural Africa and Diaspora Development Initiatives on Environment and Climate Action in Kpong in the Eastern region. My colleague Carlos Caloni has more in this report.
Held under the theme Sustain Ecosystem Health, Pathway to a Green Future, the event, organized by the African Millennium Heritage Foundation, convened environmentalists, students, practitioners, and traditional leaders to discuss Africa's response to climate change. Dr. Lloyd Manote of University of Environment and Sustainable Development, in his keynote address, emphasized the urgency of adopting eco-friendly practices to reduce pollution.
Pollutants, again, such as pesticides, weedicides, fungicides, damage nutrients and microorganisms in the soil that must sustain it. Dumping of toxic, non-degradable plastic wastes, absorbents, and acrylic materials pollute the soil. Soil pollution harms humans through the food chain once again. One may ask, can we protect and sustain the natural environment? The simple answer is, yes, we can, if the fight for its sustenance is head-on. I must say it must be head-on. And the solutions to go. Sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture. Yes, we must farm, but must do so sustainably by avoiding harmful practices and toxic substances that damage the natural environment. We must also practice organic farming and patronize organic products.
Founder and director of the African Millennium Heritage Foundation, Evelyn Bochwe, describes Ghana's current environmental pollution levels as alarming. She emphasizes the need for stringent policies to regulate chemical usage in the mining sector.
And when you look at the petroleum sectors, you look at what is happening today in Galamsey, for instance, it's heartbreaking. I had the opportunity to visit Takrady, and crossing the Pra River, I just cried. You know, the use of mercury and all that is really polluting. Our health system is not better. We need a better green future for our children. The specific steps we are hoping the government to take is to bring out policies that will actually help strategize the use of chemicals or mercury in, for instance, in the fight of Galamsey for our water bodies, because all the fishes in the seas gets back into us and it's killing us. So we're really hoping, especially for that sector, for them to work hard, bring policies that will strategize and streamlines how mining actions, you know, can be done better in the
Punch
I think when it comes to this mining sector, I think we're not doing much. We can do better. Laws are already there, so they need to enforce the law.
Nene Tete Akura the First, Divisional Chief of Manya Krobo, representing the corner of Manya Krobo traditional area, asserts that the government lacks commitment to combat the Galamsey menace. He advocates for fair compensation to cocoa farmers to deter them from selling their farms to illegal miners, thereby mitigating environmental destruction.
The government is committed. I don't think so, because Galamsey is spoiling everything. Galamsey. Just look at our lands. Now, when you go to some of the villages, it's like because of money, now things are being like degrading the forest, cutting down trees. Cocoa, that is our backbone, is now going. If the cocoa board, the government will pay the farmers well, I think all these things will be done. When you take good care of them, I don't think they will sell their lands.
Participants also highlighted the impact of climate change and urged authorities to take proactive measures. For Joy News, Carlos Caloni, Bong, in the Eastern region.
On that note, we wrap up the AM News. Up next is the news review. Stay with us.
Yama owi akwa baba Mansa Media College. Mansa Media College a school power ya TV so any radio so dwumadie ya so ye e Kumase atonsu baby a uwo bia opese ba Mansa Media College na be hu dwumadie yedi ne hono a yentie dwumadie yedi no Mansa Media College
se usua bribi wo media mu ana opese ohunu bribi biara efa media ho enso eche kwa
Mansa Media College e wo homa
wa atwetwefo a wakwadire yie wa adetwemu na in studio ni ye newsroom de editwam wonsam twemu no ye twe bribi ti se kasebo akenkan ni sinitwa ni bebua ekeka ho wa multimedia mu nso ye twe bribi ti se sini mfoni asiesie mfoni nitwa ni bebua ekeka ho ye betumi nso aboa ama wo de na otwepe asunya bribi wo nkitahudie adwuma ahodo nyinaa mu esan se ye wo yankasa foni nti abwe biara yɛma yɛn adesuafoɔ kwan ma ɔkɔ yɔ deɛ yɛatwerɛ wɔn adesua dan mu no
ahwɛfo ehu ekame ese obi biara a wɔle bosomtwe ase enim abakɔsɛm a ɛfa nsuo yi ho menya abɔfra ketewa bi wɔ ha ɔno so sɛ onim abakɔsɛm a ɛfa le bosomtwe ho
abusuafoɔ yɛ mama kwaba eba Ghana Pages TV so emra so se yɛ the trending issues ne ɛkɔsoɔ ɛwɔ abɛɛfo tentan fidie ne so ɛbɛsomo midin na na eje wa akɔdeɛ
Amansan Media College, a mount the way here be our in Kutahudium.